Alright, here we have it, second ride, test ride. Today we've got my Santa Cruz Bronson. We'll see how that goes. Let's do this. So this is my test circuit that I do in our local. G'day, how's it going? This is a test circuit I do in my local mountain bike park, Makara Peak. We start off with a technical steep uphill. Oh look, and it's raining as well. Check out my other video to see how well I went on this circuit with my tall boy. It's been a pretty awful weekend this weekend. Had rain all day yesterday, and rain's been threatening today, and it looks like we've come out just in time for that rain. Hopefully it's just a little shower. My last video, I was testing my Santa Cruz tall boy cross country trail bike 29er with 110 mils of travel on the front and 100 mils on the back. Today I've got my Santa Cruz Bronson. It's a 27.5 inch wheeled bike, 160 mils of travel on the front, 150 on the back. So this bike climbs relatively well. It's a lot more difficult than my Santa Cruz tall boy. certainly a bit more work required to get this up, and it's a bit of a balancing act in places. So we've cleared everything so far. Unfortunately, when I tested my tall boy, I had a bit of a cold and the uphill wasn't so good. But that was more about my ability at the time and not the bike. That was last week that I tested the tall boy. Whew. Still got a bit of a cold. I think I'll have this until the end of winter, but I'm not as bad as I was last week. Whew. Ooh, it's looking a bit crap. Actually came for a run up here yesterday. We had they forecast 130 km/h winds. And at the top, man, it was windy. It was windy as hell. Winds changed direction today. It's not quite as windy, but we've got a cold southerly. And it's raining again too. So I think it's about 2 p.m. in the afternoon-ish, maybe 2:30. Been threatening rain all day, but I guess, as Murphy Law says, comes out and rains, you get out on your bike and go for a ride. Alright, now we're on to a bit of four-wheel drive to get up to the track north face that we're going to be riding down. Not sure why I opted to ride sleeveless today. It's a bit cold, or I don't know. Wearing a fairly warm top, but arms are a bit cold. Oh. So far, as you can tell, this bike rides uphill pretty well. Been riding up some fairly steep stuff, although it's always hard to tell on camera. Running a 32 narrow wide chainring at the front and an 1136 on the back cassette. It's a 1x10 setup. Next is high roller 2 tyres, 2.4. This bike ain't exactly set up to climb hills, but it's not doing too bad. So this is the carbon fibre Bronson. This is one of the first generation models of the Bronson. Haven't had it too long, but loving it. Got it just before the Nomad was announced, but we all had a feeling that something like that was on its way anyway. But I think this bike probably fits my needs more than what the Nomad does. So the Bronson is basically the new Santa Cruz Blur LT in the 27.5 wheel format. It's got a bit more travel, different geometry. But I think the style of riding it's intended for is much the same as what the Blur LT was. I had a Blur LT, loved it, brilliant bike, but some aspects of the geometry were a bit flawed. Had quite a short top tube. Years ago when I had one, that top tube was brilliant at that size, but for me, but I do prefer the slightly longer top tube. Oh, look at that sunshine. I was initially looking at getting a alloy Bronson, but had to go for the carbon in the end. Own a carbon tall boy and love that bike to bits. I think the carbon makes a real difference as well. I know if I hadn't got the carbon Bronson, I probably would have got one anyway eventually. Alright, here we go. We're at the top of North Face. I think we may have even got here a bit quicker than I did with the tall boy. But then I wasn't feeling too well last week either.